Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another B.D.E podcast. My name is Shelton and Hawley, and I'm here in the studio with my main man. He has never apologized to Miss Jackson. Ooh,
I am for real.
Shelton Walker.
What's up, baby?
What's up, man? Good to see you again.
Good to see you, man. How you been?
I've been good, man. It's been a week.
It has been a week. It wasn't a very eventful one in the sense of a sporting event,
right,
but a lot of money was passed around this week.
There was a lot. I was in D.C. Yes, there was. I was in D.C. I stayed in the Trump.
Great trip, by the way.
Yeah, it was amazing.
For the one night you were there.
For the one night, yeah. I stayed in the Trump, and trust me, I made that man rich in one night.
It looked awesome. The pictures you showed me.
Yeah,
it looked really cool.
Good.
DC's a good time.
It's awesome. I was literally, if I walked outside, it's the original post office, the first ever post office. That's what the Trump Hotel is.
Really?
Yes. And Benjamin Franklin, a lot of people think that he's like, all these other things. He was the first postmaster. So the bar and grill inside is called the Benjamin.
That's pretty cool.
Because I spent about one of them every single time I went
to the Benjamin.
Yeah, Benjamin.
What a great name. I love that.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
6 blocks to the left is the White House. 6 blocks to the right is the Capitol.
That's really cool.
Pennsylvania Avenue, baby. What's up?
Really cool.
It was good.
So we have a little bit of a sorrow. Listen,
yeah.
This is a rough day for Hawley. Hawley came in with tears in his eyes. I'm not even joking.
I'm dead serious.
I'm not even like being dramatic here. We've got this hurts me to have this, but I gotta respect greatness. We've got old Bobby Bowden right here chilling with us today.
Yeah.
You're tearing up again?
I'm close, man. I'm close. It was hard. It was hard this morning. It was hard this morning when I found out. But look, a quote: "You can lose a legacy, but you can lose a legend, but you never lose a legacy." And Bobby Bowden, like, idolized the guy when I was growing up. Florida State was the school I wanted to go to because of him.
Sure.
And look, I mean, outside of football, the guy was just a good person, and I think he kind of symbolized like there's a lot of things that, like, in general you want to be, right? But I will say this, and I'll give you just one quick, because the guy was funny as hell. If you ever talked to him, if you ever had a chance to meet him, and I've met him a couple of times, he just was always very genuine. How's your mama doing? Well, how's your daddy? Yeah, he's good. But he, in one of the booster events, he had a joke, and I thought it was one of the funniest things. And I listened to some of the Bobby Bowden best moments on the way down here, which is why I was a little teary on the way. on the way down to B.D.E headquarters. You
had to do some L.D.E moments.
Yeah, I did. But he said, like, back in the day, I had to travel a lot. I'm away from home more than I am home. So my wife, Ann, she would make me recordings. Like, she would talk, and she would record it on a tape cassette. And when he came home, she'd give him the new one. That way, when he left, and it was always be new stuff. So he's in a hotel in Omaha, Nebraska, doing recruiting trips and things like that. And he's like, I'm a little homesick. So the only thing I could do was to make myself feel at home. So I threw all my clothes on the floor. I grabbed the TV and I turned it on to something I could find that was sports out there. And then I thought, you know what? This is enough. I don't feel at home yet. So I grabbed that tape that Ann made me. And I put it in the radio. And I laid there, and I ignored it the whole time.
What a legend!
That's what I'm saying. Like,
what a legend!
And look, I'm not doing it service because
what a great story.
His way of saying it was way better.
It had the passion behind it.
Certainly.
But that was really cool.
Yeah,
that was really cool. That was awesome. That was a good story.
Yeah, he's got two kids that have been. And I laid there and I ignored it. And then I felt at home.
What a legend!
That's great.
That is awesome.
Look, and he's had like 2 kids that have been head coach at Clemson, Auburn, and I want to say he's not Tommy, Terry. Terry's at Akron now.
Okay.
No, he's in Louisiana.
Okay.
But just look, a guy who's just spent his entire life in college football, a sport that I love. He's just a genuine person. When you hear him talk, and he's like, I had, this coach over. Oh yeah, I remember meeting him. I had him over for supper. It's just a Southern guy.
Yeah, just all natural.
Yeah, and,
that's cool.
Yep, and he grew up just outside of Tuscaloosa. He loved Bear Bryant. So when he became a head coach, Bear Bryant, because they would send kids to him. You're not going to fit on my roster, but there's this guy up the road. You go coach for him. And then, he from West Virginia, and then came to Tallahassee, I want to say in 76, 77. But just, you just hear the guy talk, and he just has that college football feel.
Sure. I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
That feeling we were talking about last week, you just wake up and it just feels like college football. He had it. He had the it. So I don't want to ruin your
No, that's it.
Your moment here, but
any more, and
it's a good segue.
I like it,
and the reason being because it's Florida State related.
This is why you wouldn't tell me the L.D.E moment.
But it's our L.D.E moment of the week, and I'm beyond excited for this. I can't wait to just roast. Don't look yet. Close. Keep your eyes closed because I don't want you to see the title.
I don't like where this is going.
Here goes Jameis Winston running through pads. Ready? He's got the red jersey on. Here he. Oh.
That's the L.D.E?
Yes. Look, he couldn't even get through the pads, Holly. Come on, look.
He's a quarterback.
No, look, I knew you were going to be offended by it, and I love every minute of it, but I can't stand that guy.
He's a ring and a trophy.
He's a bum.
He is not a bum. He's going to be the quarterback of the Saints.
Which blows my mind. And so I knew this was going to bring up a topic of discussion, so we might have another argument.
I can already see where this is going right now. Let me get
the fact that he's even been considered over Taysom Hill is mind-boggling to me.
What has Taysom Hill done?
What hasn't he done? He is an absolute freak.
He
runs the ball better than Jameis. Okay, he throws the ball better than Jameis. He's smarter. It's Jameis. He throws the ball better than Jameis.
Mr. Winston to you.
And he's gorgeous, and he hasn't stolen any crab legs. So far, it's 4-0.
Stole them. He just didn't pay for them. That's different. You've been in college. You know you get free stuff.
He has a horrible track record. Okay, he's stolen crab legs. Mm-hmm. He's raped women.
He is not.
He has. FSU had to pay out the biggest buyout in college football history to keep their girls hush. He's a bum. You know he's a bum.
I'm not going down this path with you. I'm not going down this path.
The only thing he has is an arm. He just throws the football a mile in the air and flings it and hopes the guy catches it. He's not.
He was not bad in Tampa. They was just he had one receiver and zero defense.
He had Mike Evans.
One receiver.
That's all you need.
He also had
Mike Evans is a Super Bowl champion, by the way.
He was in the top third of passing yards and touchdowns.
Sure, in trash time.
Because there was nothing else to do.
What else? That was like when Blaine Gabbert was good for fantasy or Minshew. Because those guys would rack up yards and touchdowns in the last 10 minutes of the game when they're already down by 21.
Okay, fine.
That doesn't mean anything. You weren't winning football games.
If that's the case, then why are the Saints trusting their organization?
I have no idea. Listen, they haven't made great decisions in the past. They had the whole bounty situation. They don't always make the best decisions, okay? I don't care if they want. Clearly, they know they're going to lose it to Tom. So they're just going to, I guess, just chalk up the season. How they're picking him over Taysom Hill is blowing my mind.
Because Taysom Hill hasn't done anything.
The guy can't even run through a pad. Taysom Hill would have took the whole machine down.
Far from the physical specimen that you would look at
You're
for
so fired up,
linebacker. I don't like any of this right now. How are you going to back up my Bobby Bowden to your hate for Jameis Winston?
It's Jameis. I can't.
Bastard.
He's a bum. He's not good at football. How he has a job in the NFL blows my mind.
What about the championship? What about
that team was insane.
I know. It was amazing.
He can throw a football. I'm not taking away from that.
It was the first time that every player on the starting 22.
All went to the NFL.
Yeah.
They were nasty. Like the whole team was. Look, the kid can throw football. He's athletic. I'm not. Well, besides running through pads, he can throw football. But from a football IQ, mediocre at best.
No, he came through Jimbo. Jimbo is he basically builds quarterbacks for the NFL.
He's trash.
Jimbo?
No. Jameis.
James.
Jameis. He should not have a job.
Well, he does.
I mean,
and it's better than ours.
I take back that statement. That's an incorrect statement. He should have a job. He'd make a reliable backup quarterback and come in, kind of put some spark into the game. Bro, the guy we're talking about now, this is the guy we're talking about. That's the guy.
He ate a W, baby.
That's the guy we're talking about here.
Go.
That's who's leading me.
Had crab legs.
That's who's leading me into war. That guy's leading me into war.
Yeah, eat a
That's
W,
what you want.
Because I have crab legs on my fingers.
You're telling me you're gonna have that guy then say this is 30 minutes for the rest of our life. You're trying to tell me that is better than 30 minutes for the rest of our life. You're trying to tell me that you would have that than Tim Tebow. Crazy to me.
You're making like some wild comparison.
No, I'm not. It's a valid comparison.
Would I rather have Jameis Winston would I rather have Jameis Winston
or
over
Jameis?
Tebow as a quarterback? Yes.
You're crazy.
I don't understand
it's
how you...
crazy to me that he has a job. I can't... he hasn't done anything impressive besides throw the football a mile, which that's every quarterback in the NFL.
Look, he made Tampa competitive. Without him, they suck. They're horrible. No, they're horrible.
You're getting him confused with Tom. And I can see the resemblance, but Tom made them competitive, okay?
No. Tom came in and said, only way I'm coming here
Tom
is
made
if
them competitive. What was the record when he played? When Jameis played?
Let's look it up.
What year was it?
19,
right?
2017 is when he got drafted. No.
The year before Tom came. Was 2019.
Yeah, right.
7-9.
Okay.
Above the Panthers, who went 5-11.
He wasn't there at that point. He was in New
Jameis?
Orleans. Yes.
Jameis was there in 2019. He got traded when Tom came in 2020. He was their quarterback in 2019. Yes, he was. Tom didn't go 7-9. Tom won his first year there.
I get that.
So who was the quarterback for Tampa in 2019?
Fitzpatrick, maybe?
Oh, true.
Jameis he's been the backup to Breeze for 2 years.
All right, let's see. No, 2019. He's with the Bucs. Threw for 5,000 yards, 33 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, and then 2020 was his first year. Last year with the Bucs. So I was right. He went 7-9.
Okay.
Trash.
5,000 yards?
Yeah, 5,000. Again, trash time.
You're
How do you throw?
That.
No, I'm not. I watched. I remember because he was crazy for fantasy. I remember him being insane for fantasy.
Right.
And sometimes you just go pick a guy, or you'll go pick a team or a player. Where like, hey, Jaguar players were always valuable because they would get so many points in trash time.
Sure.
But they weren't a first round draft pick. You weren't picking DJ Chalk in the first round, but you'd pick him later on because like the chances of him getting a lot of points later on were great.
Look, to say that Jameis is trash it's just too deep.
It's not. It's pretty on topic.
Well, how about this? We'll find out.
We'll know. We'll find out this year.
This year.
We'll keep it on the scoreboard. We'll keep it as a distant scoreboard talk.
Speaking of,
we're doing scoreboard now. I thought we were gonna do. You wanted to yell at me some more. I figured we would just segue into you yelling at me some more because apparently I was wrong about this too, which I was not.
Horribly wrong.
I was not wrong.
You were horribly wrong.
I was not wrong.
Look, let's talk Olympics.
Okay, real quick.
The Olympic
are coming
men's
to an end.
Basketball team. Yeah,
hold on. Olympics are coming to an end. We're up 39-38 in gold medals. We clutched up last night, won a few events, won women's volleyball and two other things to take the lead in gold. Overall, we're winning, which we should win. We participate in everything. But gold's all that matters. So we're up by 1 against China. I think we got it in the bag. We'll have to wait and see. There's a few more events today and tomorrow, I believe. Or what's today's date? Oh, today's the last day. So it's been a pleasure. But go ahead. What do you want to say?
Well, you are clearly the Olympic guy. Like, you love the Olympics. You've said it from the beginning that you stay up late. You watch it. You love it. It's your thing. You've been quoting statistics for the last two podcasts, if I'm not mistaken.
You better come in heavy because
You 2 weeks ago said that our Olympic basketball team was trash.
I did.
What happened last night?
They won gold.
How trash can you be if you're winning gold, Shelton?
Hawley, I said they were trash because they lost in the first round, first time ever since 2004, to Australia. That is unacceptable. I don't care if it was a group game.
So they got to go chalk.
Yes.
In order for you to be like, I'm okay with this team.
Absolutely. What do you mean?
What I mean is that it's group play.
You are a professional basketball player in the NBA, and you claim to be the GOAT when winning all these titles in championships. You have Kevin Durant, who is apparently the greatest of all time, the greatest athlete, blah, blah, all this nonsense.
How many points did he have last night?
And you lose to Australia.
How many points did he have last night?
It was 2 nights ago, and I don't know. And nor do I care. You played France. You should have 45 points.
He did.
Perfect.
He had like 40 points.
Okay, you did your job. Congratulations. I'm not going to give you a pat on the back for give me 60, give me 65. I'd be impressed.
Congratulations when they win
They
and say
bar-
that's
but
what I expected.
They
the entire
almost
time.
lost
To who?
to France. Was it Spain?
Spain.
No, France. It was France because it was Gobert was playing. It was France. Spain played Slovenia in the bronze game against
You're right.
Luka.
You're right.
I know.
And they were tied at halftime, but they were up by like 16.
But then it was like 10 seconds left, and they're only down by 3. Listen, it was too close. My expectations are. Listen, when I said they suck, okay, I still fully anticipated them to get the W. Women's basketball didn't lose the game. Hasn't lost a game since like '98.
Yeah, because there's no such thing as women's basketball in any other country.
I don't care. There's no excuse.
You're holding them to a
You're
standard.
losing. No, I'm not.
You are.
No, I'm not. I hold everyone to the same standard. That's like Caleb Dressel going and him winning the silver. Like, hey man, that was cool. No, we expect you to win gold, Caleb. You can't go out there and lose. You can't. For the swimmers, they can't lose a race. They have to qualify for each heat. Then they have to make it to the final, and they have to win the final.
Well, it's the same thing as a group.
No, you lost.
You get through the group,
but you're supposed to win.
Look, this
is the only sport. No, it's not. This is the only sport where we by far are the level of competitive and the level of talent is here's the rest. Here's the floor. Here's the rest of the teams in the Olympics. Here's where we are. If we have to hold ourselves to that standard. Soccer, I expect to lose that. That's a game of inches. That's a game of seconds. Basketball is 4 quarters. You have 4 quarters to dominate. If we have the greatest player in the world.
You have 2 halves of 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
Yeah, but soccer's a little bit different where like you can control it. Even great hockey teams, they're not gonna like blow a team out of the water. That's what makes those 2 sports so great because in a mediocre team, they can
stick around.
Right? You can stick around because scoring is so minimal in those games.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a 3-pointer in soccer.
Correct. Where you can just outshine somebody, right? You get a good goalie and you get some good defensive players. You may not have the offense, but you can hold off and then get a little luck, right?
You take a tie, that's a point.
That's what makes hockey so exciting is that you never know who's going to win because it just takes a team to get hot for a little bit.
But we're also saying in this scenario,
the NBA Finals, we've been able to predict for the last 8 years up until this year. Why is that?
We had a B.D.E moment for a guy whose name I cannot pronounce.
Giannis?
Yeah.
Well, okay, saying what?
Where's he from?
From Greece.
Greece.
Yeah. I was gonna say Greek.
Yeah. Or he could play for I think Nigeria.
He didn't play.
No, right.
What's your point here?
My point is that there is
that's one
talent.
guy.
No, hold on. That's not Pau Gasol.
But they're spread out though. They're not on one team. We have the majority of it on one team.
But look at the team. It wasn't that good. It wasn't that good going in.
So the argument here is I never said they were going to lose the gold. I never expected them to lose gold.
But
I was frustrated
they were
because
L.D.E moment.
Yes, they were.
And they
earned every moment of it.
So you're not an American?
So stop it. So Simone was a B.D.E, but then she lost that title.
She went from B.D.E to L.D.E.
Okay, so you can have
bronze.
So at that time, they were the L.D.E moment of the week. You agreed. And they were. You don't lose to. It wasn't. They didn't lose just to Australia. They also lost to Nigeria. And they lost to France. I think was the first part. They lost to France the first game in the group play, but they lost to Australia in Vegas.
Yep.
They also lost to Nigeria.
Correct.
Before that,
who I want to say their coach is the former coach of the Philadelphia 76ers.
I think so. Yeah, Brown.
Yeah. Paul Brown.
No, not Paul Brown. You're just not supposed to. We haven't lost one of those since 2004, and even then, that was the disgrace.
Look, they're biting down on a medal to make sure it's gold. They got it. Gold.
You're getting soft.
Medal.
You're getting soft,
baby.
You're getting soft.
I'm not getting soft.
Yes, I knew they were going to win. If they didn't win, it would be the whole show would be about it. Okay, you're supposed to win. To anything less would be a disgrace.
Yeah, but to expect running chalk.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Basketball
silly.
is the only sport that I expect us to win, to sweep for women and men every single time. It's the only sport in the Olympics. Everything else is up to chance. There's a lot more talent, a lot more different levels of skill. The way it's played, the talent that it's played is completely different. When it comes to basketball, that's our sport. We're supposed to win.
Every single game.
Every single game.
Even if you're putting some people in there for development.
Okay, hold on. We expect that out of college football. We expect that out of Alabama every single season for them to go undefeated. Why is it so crazy for me to ask the USA Olympic basketball team to win 4 games?
Because they're playing against other professionals.
Okay, so college is playing against other college teams, and they have to win. They have to win 17 of them, not 4 of them. 5 of the, I would say 6 out of the 12 schools they play are on the exact same level as they are, and we expect them to win every single game. How do we expect a group of college kids to win every game, but not a professional athlete to win 4 games?
Well,
against teams who just got together a week ago.
Not true.
It is true.
No, we talked about that at the office.
Gobert wasn't playing in France.
These guys have been playing development basketball forever. Most of these guys, when they get on
I'm saying together as a team. Paul Gobert wasn't playing with France last week.
That's what I mean. When these guys get together as a team, they have played together.
Okay, you can make the argument for, again, they're not playing together week in and week out where college football is.
And okay, so there's something to that. But I mean, at the end of the day, look.
I'm not wrong. You're not going to get a point here.
You are wrong.
You're not getting a point here.
No, you know what I'm doing right now.
Give it up.
You know what I'm doing.
Give it up. I'm not losing.
I'm not doing this with you.
I'm not losing this battle. What else is next? What's next?
I don't even know. Let's talk about Scoreboard. So you
okay. I picked the Braves last week, which we always are. You picked the Cubs.
Yep, which is going to be, I think, a lay down for you for the rest of the year.
If it becomes a trend, maybe you pick a different team.
Yeah,
if it becomes to where they got nobody.
The Cubs gave everybody away, and then of course.
Do you want to do that now? Or you want to ride one more week?
Let me go one more week.
All right.
And we'll talk about it next week. But
they're playing the Marlins. If they can't beat the Marlins,
then I have a whole different.
So you won the tiebreaker game, but it didn't matter because the Cubs lost.
Cubs lost.
Braves won, so I'm up 4-3.
Yep, 4-3.
So we're gonna do it again next week. I got the Braves against the Nats again.
We did this last time.
Yep, and you got the Cubs versus the Marlins.
The Marlins, yeah.
Tiebreaker game is Mets versus Dodgers.
Yep.
Which is, again, our tiebreaker games are going to be games that are the two big-headed snakes that are going at it.
Right.
And you get to pick this time. You pick the Dodgers.
Since I lost, yeah, I took the Dodgers.
Which is a good pick. So I'm stuck with the Mets, which I'm not mad about. It's at home. So, again, that's the reason why we get 2 good teams. So There's really no loser here. It's just what are you feeling?
So yeah, so 4-3. It will reevaluate the scoreboard to see, since Chicago decided to hemorrhage their entire
that's gonna
lineup.
It may not be fun for you to pick. So pick your second favorite team.
I'll do that. We'll get back at it.
I say even after this game we just pick, because they're not really competitive. They don't care to win. So pick a team that has something on the line.
We'll have something.
Okay.
And then do we want to talk NFL? NFL is right around the corner.
I think this Sunday we had football. This was the last Sunday, or last Sunday was the last Sunday without football.
Yeah, we had the Steelers and Cowboys this week.
So
Hall of Fame game.
Ton of money was passed around between the NBA, right, sign-in trades, Miami Heat, which is my team, made some big moves. The Lakers made some big moves.
Yep.
A lot of teams made a lot of big moves. And the NBA, I think, is only going to get more exciting as the offseason goes on. But NFL made some moves.
Big ones.
Big ones.
Big moves.
Rodgers got paid, right?
Yes, for sure.
Rodgers got paid.
Yeah. He had his bonus guaranteed. So it's okay. For one in his contract,
which wasn't a surprising move.
No.
But the surprising one was Josh Allen getting paid. My guy.
Buffalo
it was like $240.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
$150 guaranteed.
Yes, $150 guaranteed
to 2028.
That was the big part.
Yeah, that's
to 2028.
Guaranteed in NFL is a little crazy. Baseball, all always gets guaranteed for the most part. NBA is pretty much guaranteed. NFL has always had this argument where guaranteed and it isn't always a thing. And they're in a much higher risk
Yes.
sporting than the other two. So that's partly why. But
Guaranteed money, 150.
150. He's set.
And he's there until 2028.
So we got a lot of questions. A lot of questions, a
do.
lot of analysis going on. First of all, that draft, we looked that draft up.
Yes, before.
Massive.
Amazing.
Huge names.
You want to just scroll through some of the names?
Let's go 1 through 10 really quick, and then we'll talk about the other comparison. Number 1, Baker Mayfield. He's done a solid job.
Got him to the playoffs.
Now,
look, they've invested around him, which Cleveland had not done in quite some time.
Correct. Was he a first-round draft pick? I still don't think that he was. I don't think he's proved that to be a number 1 draft pick.
He was a first-round draft pick. The first
number
pick.
1. I'm talking about number 1 now. But again, it was a selling factor.
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, totally get it.
He can't outrun cops in Oklahoma, yet he's going to outrun linebackers.
Whatever. Saquon, stud. You seen this man's thighs?
Badass.
You seen this man's thighs?
Yes.
Unbelievable. What I would give.
Have you seen his left ACL? No.
It's back. He feels good. Sam Darnold, who's been, I don't know. I think he may have been in the wrong position. Not quarterback. Wrong system in the sense of
but you can say that to anybody who's goes to a franchise that isn't 100% invested.
True.
It doesn't matter who you put there.
True.
Right?
We'll see how he does.
Even Peyton Manning.
I think he's got a good arm, but I just don't know if he has the eyes. I don't know.
He's a USC guy, and they honestly shit quarterbacks.
Yeah, but not great ones. That was more of a shot at Austin. Denzel Ward, cornerback for Cleveland, been great. Bradley Chubb, absolute beast. Quentin Nelson, guard for Indiana, boring stuff.
Yeah, they don't get.
Josh Allen,
7.
number 7, getting paid. Now, really quick. Oh wait, let's not. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get through this. Roquan Smith, Josh Rosen, which we'll come back to, number 10. Minka Fitzpatrick was number 11. All the way down at 32, old Lamar Jackson. Okay, so we've got a few here. Sony Michel, Bradley, Nick Chubb as well. A handful of these guys have already been into the playoffs.
Yes.
One of them's won an MVP.
Jackson.
And now one of them is getting paid. So this raises the question. 2 questions. 1, was Josh right in signing first?
I think in that scenario, yes.
Okay.
Because, the Bills went out and they got Stephon Diggs. They went out and they got a couple of offensive linemen that were good. They have invested in their investment.
Sure.
And Stephon Diggs was a huge
But
pickup
do you
for them.
think if Josh would have held out, because now, right, Baker, Lamar, these guys that they've done the same thing that Josh has done.
Yep.
Lamar's done more than what Josh has done because he's won an MVP. Now you can say Josh has looked better from the eye test and maybe had some more yards here and there, but we're getting nickel and diming. But in the sense of like what we've accomplished the same thing in the same amount of time, right? Lamar did it first, actually. Because Josh and Baker went last year.
Right.
Lamar's went in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So he's actually accomplished more plus an MVP. And now he sees his counterpart here. Now, again, he got drafted earlier, so that's some argument like, hey, he's living up to that number.
Right.
You got drafted 32 for a reason, but you're out playing your draft in a sense.
I think he went to a better team. I think he naturally went to a better team.
Yeah, he went later, so he was able to play for a more established team,
exactly.
100%.
Which the Bills, if you think about it, when Allen went there was not much talent.
No.
I don't think you could name a single.
They had the 3rd pick in the NFL draft for a reason.
Right.
So,
yeah, I don't think you could name.
Baltimore had the 25th pick.
And then they went and they got,
bad.
wasn't LaShawn McCoy there when he got
Buffalo?
drafted? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had a couple of decent running backs in Buffalo.
Yes. Devil Singletary. They had an okay team, but he balled out. But
I guess that's my thing. I mean, if that's the team, if the organization has showed that they're going to invest in success, then why would it ever be a bad or maybe even too early?
Well, too early, yeah. So I think no. I don't think it was too early because I think if Lamar went, I think Lamar's would have been. They could argue, hey, you're not getting that because you haven't got an MVP and you haven't taken us twice. Right. The biggest winner here is Baker.
Oh, for sure, because he's sitting in the middle. just waiting for his
because
contract,
he's accomplished the same as
just
since Josh.
salivating
Yeah.
over the money that
Now I think Josh has played better, looks better, all those things.
and and that's the other thing. So like they're willing to invest in Josh, but now Cleveland's kind of on the fence because
I think they're gonna go all in.
But I mean, if you're Cleveland, do you let the season ride and say, show me again?
Show me your worth.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Dak Prescott situation.
Yes.
If I'm Baker, I take what I can get.
Right. And so maybe in this scenario, did Josh react too soon? I don't think so. I think he honestly got a franchise level offer, and there's no reason to not take it. Let's be honest. Like, the guy got $150 million guaranteed in a $280 million contract until
over
2028.
So I think there's a saying in stock, right? Buy the rumor, sell the news.
Sure.
Right. He bought the rumor. He had one good year.
Yeah.
Not one, but you know what I'm saying? Like an incredible year, which is the rumor, right? Because that's not news. That's not consistent. That's a rumor. It's like, hey, he's doing really well.
They got rid of the backup. I mean, they cashed in with him. They got rid of Tyrod.
And he cashed in.
Yes, he did.
Because now.
But look, if that's the case, then we're all on the same platform. And if you think about how many NFL football teams have been struggling to find that franchise quarterback for as long as they have, you have a guy now who the organization has bought into, literally. But they've surrounded him with the talent that he feels that he needs.
I think that's the biggest thing is I think they surrounded him with talent and he stepped up to it.
Yeah.
It's like, look, we're here to win now. This is our time. And he's going to have a long tenure. I mean, so
do you think Tyrod Taylor was going to be anybody's franchise quarterback? Of course not.
Tyrod was in the Chargers. They got rid of him last year.
He was just from
he was
in Buffalo.
He's not the guy.
No, right.
He's like Jameis. He's a good backup.
He's gonna be the guy in Houston.
Deshaun's there.
He ain't gonna play.
He's gonna play.
Well,
he's gonna play. We're getting off topic, but he's gonna play. So, I think what's happening. Josh was right. Baker needs to sign now. Right?
Yeah, because he has nothing. He has nowhere to go but down.
So if Lamar signs around the same, they're not going to give him that same amount.
Right.
But if he signs before, not knowing what Lamar has, his ceiling's a little bit higher. He may get the same or a little bit more than Josh. The only reason why I say he gets a little bit more is if he does wait and balls out again, now his value's through the roof, right? Especially if Josh has a down season. I think his best case scenario would be to sign this year as soon as possible.
But I think they optioned him, either him or Lamar. They optioned him. Like, what do you get the option to extend the contract without
the rookie contract?
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, I think they optioned him.
They're winning then.
Yeah.
So that leads to our next question, which we asked early on in the precast is who won this, right? We had this argument last week. The Packers, right? Or was Rogers? I keep wanting to say Favre. Was Rodgers right? Who won here? Did Josh win, or did the Bills win?
I think the Bills, honestly. And I say the Bills because if you look at the franchises in the NFL and how difficult it is to find that piece, the quarterback, which is essentially what you build around. You have your teams that have these offsets that win championships with a defense, which the Bucks did when they had the Tampa 2. Baltimore did it when they beat the Giants, but they had Ray Lewis, and it was just an amazing defense. But I mean, in the grand scheme of it, if you look at the successful teams in this league, they have quarterbacks.
Yep, they've got a guy.
Yeah, and if they feel like this is their guy,
and the Ravens have Flacco. I mean, we sleep on Flacco because they're a defense.
He wasn't that good.
I got you.
And
I know what you're saying.
If you want to take that like a step further, I mean, San Francisco got to the Super Bowl.
Don't talk about Jimmy G like that, bro. People be sleeping on Jimmy G, and Jimmy G is AG.
I like him, but did you see their offensive game plan?
I can't stand the disrespect that Jimmy G gets.
They handed the ball off 90% of the time.
I don't care. Jimmy G does a great job of handling the ball.
I like the guy.
Don't get me angry.
He has a delightful beard, like a half beard.
He's gorgeous.
Yeah. So
you picked the Bills.
I think the Bills won in this scenario because you get your guy.
So I'm going back and forth in my head here because I don't want to be an L.D.E. I don't want to be a pansy here because I almost want to say both win, but we don't do that on this show, right?
One or the other.
one bite. Everybody knows the rules. We're sending one way or the other. I almost want to agree with you.
Don't you dare. After this conversation, after this cast, I don't want you on my side.
I think
I'll change my answer if I
why
have to.
Josh won is because of the guaranteed.
Yeah, that's hot money.
That's why I think he won. And I think he won because he only had one really like standout season. And he's set. He's done. Right? It reminds me of a Sam Bradford. That guy won.
Yes.
He got paid like 190 or 170 and hasn't played it down since. Not really, but you know what I mean. Like he hasn't been relevant since he signed that. And he wasn't anything to, write home about.
USC.
Yeah, my point. Trash. Write home about up to that point, but because at that time he was really the only thing they like you said, it's hard to come by. And he showed a little glimpse and they went all in on him. Now, I say we go fast forward to 2028 and Josh has won 2 Super Bowls, Bills won. Right?
Or hell, just get him to the playoffs.
Or even just
make him competitive. Tom's not in the AFC North anymore.
True. Get him to the playoffs a couple times, maybe even to one Super Bowl visit. You don't have to necessarily win to be successful to make that a win for the Buffalo Bills.
Sure.
Obviously, right, everybody wants the chip at the end. So I think right now, as of where we stand, Josh won.
Right this second.
Yep, right this second.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a seasoned out situation where if it plays out to where he ends up being the man and they got him for super cheap.
But look at this. So if you're a franchise,
how much did we know what Mahomes got? Wasn't it like half a billion?
Yeah, on the most recent contract, I don't know off the top of my head.
I got it. Go ahead.
But I mean, just in that regard, right? So so in our scenario, in our day-to-day work life, like we're expected to think maybe 6 months ahead, right? This is what this is the game plan. We think 6 months ahead.
10-year deal worth $500,000, half a billion,
which he's earned. He's earned.
Well,
that.
He had already got a ring.
But I mean, so think about this. Okay, so you and I are supposed to think from a job standpoint a little bit more short term than our next level of management.
Sure.
Who thinks?
I see what you're doing here.
6 months.
I see what you're doing here. Well played. You're using my arguments from last week to your advantage.
And then his managers are thinking
short term,
years in advance.
Yes.
Like it's
but the Bills are thinking further than that.
Yes, and they think they have their guy. So look, on the instant, right this split second, as soon as ink went on paper, who wins? Of course, Allen wins.
I think even in 2028, he's going to be what? That's 7 years. He's going to be early 30s. He's 24.
Young. Yeah.
So even that's not prime for football. I would say 27 or 29 is like your prime. But for quarterbacks though, yeah, it lasts a little longer.
There's no.
So they're going to have him through. You can almost say his prime, like his whole prime, for a reasonable price because. Right. As we've noticed,
here's the other thing:
the cost is going to go up for these guys.
Yeah, the $150 million doesn't change 5 years from now.
Correct.
So it's still only $150 million.
Like I said, I think right now, this instant, Josh won.
Yeah, because you put
if he produces a Super Bowl next year, I will give you the point. Bills win automatically, right? Because that's all they want. They want a ring. So if they pay him $150 million guaranteed for that ring. He may never have to win again. It does not matter.
Doesn't matter.
To me,
got the ring.
You signed what you wanted.
Yep.
With the Chiefs situation, they signed after the ring. Mahomes won that bad boy.
Oh, big time.
He
won on his rookie contract, which is unheard of.
I think both in that scenario you can say both won because it's like, look, you got us to somewhere we haven't been in.
Yeah, and then we gave you a contract that
he'll win it, and he brought him back to Super Bowl the next year.
Yeah.
So they've honestly the Chiefs are winning that. To be honest,
yeah, absolutely.
He could have waited. Imagine if he would have waited this year and went to Super Bowl again.
Twice, yeah.
I mean, you really can't. After you sign after Super Bowl, that's the peak of the peak.
It's just a little bit off topic, and I know we're about to wrap up.
Yep.
But we're a big fans of Tom Brady here. Have you seen what Tom has been doing in the media?
Talk to me.
Yeah, he has lost his mind. So
where have I been?
Even after all of this, after we gone through a pandemic, the NFL franchises gained 14% in revenue. Even after all this, after some stadiums with no fans. Obviously, revenue you would think is hurting. The franchises gained 14% revenue. And then, so Tom,
From what?
because the NFL is just so
Big,
profitable.
Yeah. So what did Tom do?
He went on Twitter to tell all the NFL players that you're idiots. He even went off on the NFLPA.
What?
Because they're being so like, they're thinking that the NFL didn't make money, like contracts for not the people on the level that we're talking, but for guys who are maybe on the second string.
So you're saying that they're not holding themselves. They're thinking that, hey, the NFL to make money, so I can't get paid as much.
Right.
And the NFL is playing to that narrative,
of course,
and saving money. But in reality, they made 14%.
They made 14% more than last year, and they're expected to make double that this year.
I love.
And he went off. And I point, but there's a flag right
of Tom.
here.
Party with Tom. Tampa Tom is the greatest thing that's ever happened to us.
Yes,
this era right here will be talked about forever, and we go through this all the time with players and just situations that we don't really appreciate it when it comes to us. But Tampa Tom, my God,
he's in an environment where he's not locked down.
It is crazy. And again, like
New England had everything so locked down. He
well,
was
that
like
too. But I think
but
the stress of winning was always number one, and it still is. But now he has a swagger about him that he's always carried, but now it is just...
He's chilling down here in Florida.
Like, I don't even think we can even say B.D.E. He's on a different level.
Oh, yeah, no.
Like M.D.E. Monster Dick Energy. I don't know.
Whatever it is. I don't know what the level is, but for a quarterback who is somewhat, you can even say the face of the league, to come out and basically call the players idiots.
And get away with it.
And then get away with it. And then say that the NFLPA has done a horrific job of representing them. I applaud the guy. Like, he's got his money. He's married money. He's married more money than he makes.
Yeah, he's done.
He's good.
He's set.
But he's worried about the kids. He's
coming up.
He's worried about.
I love that.
40. He's 40 plus.
Spokesperson for the people.
Right.
So we didn't talk about this. So this is off rip here. This is raw dog.
Tom?
No. This not that, but that led me to.
So you're raw dogging me back after I raw dogged
yes,
you.
yes.
Okay.
We talked about this guy a few podcasts ago. We've talked about this. I'm surprised we didn't even think about it. But the new NIL benefits, college players getting paid.
God.
Hold on. Remember Quinn Ewers?
Yep.
Mullet Boy,
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State.
Yeah.
Guess what he did? He is foregoing his final year of high school to attend Ohio State to become eligible for NIL benefits. We were talking about how this is going to change the game, because he's like, I can make a ton of money off of me. Yeah, because he has a mullet and he's got the luscious hair.
This makes zero sense. The whole concept of being a college athlete is that you are an amateur.
Yeah, and
you are given. And if anybody's gone to college,
this is gonna be an unpopular opinion, I'm sure. Because what's funny is me growing up going through college, the biggest paper that you could write was, should college kids be paid? Like, that was the go-to
right.
paper for anybody.
And they all wanted it.
Yeah, I don't know what everyone's going to write now. Now, as a college kid, I would love this. I mean, who wouldn't? But as a viewer, I'm concerned it's going to take away from why we love college football. The guy from Bama's already made $1 million, hasn't thrown a ball.
Not a single
Hasn't
one.
thrown a ball.
And so one, that I have a huge issue with that, because it's going to make things very uncompetitive. Whereas, look, Alabama, who has, generations of alumni, business owners, the things like that, they're willing to write checks. If you have a smaller school, like
it's going to make the rich richer and the poor poor. It's
right.
going to separate the gap.
The divide is going to be
huge.
Significant. And I don't think that this is conveniently timed. This isn't an accident where all of a sudden the SEC opted to expand. This is not like
they realize, like, hey, we if we get the powerhouse schools, we can act as our own.
When you have,
we don't have to follow any rules anymore.
When you have this much money on the line, and you start realizing that you can get players who are making $1 million, like, this is not an accident of timing.
It's crazy to me to think, because again, like, we want to say it's wrong, But at the same time, I mean, these colleges have benefited from these guys.
Sure, but they've turned around and they've like built facilities that we use. The stadiums.
Sure,
The facilities that the athletes use.
I agree with you, but it's a monopoly. It's a monopoly.
How much did you pay to go to the college?
Like it was like $20,000 a year, I think.
Right. Okay. And you went for
Close,
4
rough or take, yeah,
4
4
years. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say hypothetically you played baseball.
Okay.
Did you not make $20,000 a year?
No, not when I went.
No, you see what I mean though. If you were playing a sport and you had a contract that said they're going to pay for your school if you play a sport.
I got you. A full ride is what you're saying.
Right.
I got you.
So I'm telling you, if in Florida, if you go to a Florida
but
school,
that's them valuing their education at $20,000.
But that's still $20,000.
I know, but you can say you're worth more than that.
By whose standards? And if you do it this way,
we've argued a lot today.
I'm over you. I'm not gonna lie. I'm over it.
So you're old fashioned, right? And
I believe that education costs money, and a lot of people pay for it. You paid for yours.
I get what you're saying. I also think that it's a little overvalued, and I think it's a monopoly. And I get where, look, these colleges have profited off these kids for years and years. I mean, profited, and these kids brought more money in than they could ever imagine.
But
the return they got, like the return they got from what the school got, you can't say was the same.
So you're saying that Reggie Bush, who went to USC,
brought way more to USC than USC brought for him. 100%. 100%. I truly believe that. Yeah.
When he got drafted, because he went to a brand that was...
He got drafted because of his talent. Clearly,
if he was going to Louisiana Monroe, would he have been drafted that high? Of course not.
Josh Allen got drafted from Wyoming, number 3. So
yeah, but he was a risk. He was a high risk.
Okay, but he still got drafted. And if your talent showed.
His talent showed in the second contract.
He brought years of generational talent to USC that paid USC for the next 20 years. Him going into the NFL, sure, secured himself, but he busted his ass off to get to that point. You can't say USC did all of that.
I'm not saying that any of these kids haven't busted their ass. I'm also saying that going to college isn't free. And you have to understand, like, not only are they getting the education, but they get boarding. Like they are.
I know they get a lot.
They are on a much better food
They get
schedule.
fed. They get taken care of. I mean, it's like
and that's not to say that there's like some side money.
Yeah, right. and you got to bust your ass. You have to work for it. There's no doubt about that. I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it. I like that these kids. It's a cool time to see these kids getting paid. I think it's really cool.
But then what happens next?
I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. I think your concern is, and my concern is too, is that these kids are not going to care. And I don't think the money's going to be an issue. I think it's going to be a little bit.
I think it will be, only because Alabama, Florida State, Miami, they have more available money through their booster organizations.
I think the bigger concern
it's
here
just going to be free agency. It's not going to be recruiting anymore. It's going to be free agency.
I agree with that. I think the bigger concern here, and it showed in the Olympics, because Suni Lee even said it. She struggled in the bars during the Olympics, didn't even place, or she may have got bronze. I don't remember.
Think she did.
I don't think she should have won. She was the favorite to win, and she didn't win, and she blamed it on social media. She said, yeah, social media got to me. I got distracted. I read too much. That, to me, is a bigger concern than these guys getting paid. The social media aspect of the world is getting out of hand. Me included, we're getting way too distracted. And I think that's going to have a bigger play because these kids are playing into that brand. And they know I can't make money if I'm not building my brand.
And then, look, right now, if you're, flashback 5 years ago, if you're a 5-star number 1 quarterback, there's already pressure on you, right?
Sure.
You're talking about this kid from Alabama, and he's got $1 million in revenue. He isn't throwing a football. Now you're adding that too. That's a lot.
It's going to open a can of worms.
It's just bad. I just don't think it's a good idea.
We'll keep tabs on it.
Of course we will.
We're going to be talking games. We're going to be talking play-by-play. We'll be able to criticize and do what we want. We'll see who's right about that too. But I think that's going to take years to really see. But we'll see kind of short term how it works. Yeah. Great show.
My man.
Wow.
I hate you.
You suck. I think I'm up like 9-0 because you lost every argument today.
Oh, wrongo.
Let us know in the comments.
Jameis.
It's Jameis. Let us know who won.
Yeah.
These arguments.
We got a comment section down there.
Let us know how you guys are feeling.
Hit the like, subscribe.
Keep that B.D.E flowing. Be back here next week, Wednesday, 8 a.m. Every Wednesday. We're
We're here.
We're keeping it consistent. We're working on getting possibly a live stream where we could have comments. That's something we're in the works.
Peppering things in.
Listen, not sure how soon or how quick, but that's something that I would like to get going. So
let's go.
Keep your eyes and ears open for that. But I'm Shelton.
I'm Hawley.
Boogity boogity. See ya.
Try to take me out, but you not a threat, yeah. Hey, why would you wanna compete? Cause you ain't got nothing on